everybody, Seth Cole here, and thank you for tuning into the 8th annual Great American Race, the Daytona 500. The reason that this video is here at the beginning is just real quickly to give you guys a couple of disclaimers based on stuff that I actually did not do in the recording of the Great American Race. First thing is, I had put out this poll on whether I should have the Season 8 Snickers Cup Series point stands the same format as NASCAR Sprint Cup Series has this season. And so, therefore, I did not have this poll up, and so I did not make mention of the results of this in the 500. But as we look at the results, you guys, by an overwhelming 80%, said, yes, I should. And so, therefore, even though I don't say it in the video, the winner of this race, the Daytona 500, will get into the chase, and it will continue on during the course of the season, just like NASCAR has in its Sprint Cup Series this season here in 2014. So, just letting you guys know that ahead of time. And another disclaimer I really want to quickly make is all of Speed Weeks, as well as in the 500, because I recorded them all within the same time, I ended up calling Makoto Iguchi, the driver of the 9 car, a male, when in fact Makoto Iguchi is a female. So here during the 500, please keep in mind that I am making a big fail in calling Makoto Iguchi a he the majority of this race. Actually, I think I call him a he, or her a he, all the race. But just realize that it actually is a female, and I will be making it correct of calling her a female in the second race of the season at Rockingham, UK. But just letting you guys know that ahead of time as well. And I don't know why that came up. But, yep, so thank you all for seeing this little thing at the beginning, and now let's get down to it and watch the Great American Race. Enjoy the video.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Logan Wilson, John Brace, Trent Whitney, Jacob Lawler, James McLeod, Barney Ward, and Charles Sanford. Who is going to join those 7 in the names of the Immortals here as a winner in this race? Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the 5th annual Daytona 500. Live from Daytona International Speedway, I'm Seth Cole, ready to bring you all the action here. 50 laps of racing at this track, and one driver is going to come away with the race that pretty much is just barely second place to winning the championship. Drivers come in here wanting to win this event almost as much as they do wanting to win the championship. Not only because it gets their season started off with a bang, but this is really, when you think about it, our season finale at the very beginning of the season. This is the race that gets the most excitement out of the fans, the most excitement out of the drivers. This is the race that everybody wants to win. And here today, we are getting set for 42 drivers in about 7, I believe it's 7 different manufacturers trying to go for the victory here at Daytona. We have on the pole one driver who has already won a 500 in his career. He's also the defending Snickers Cup Series champion, Jacob Lawler. And as you can see, that machine has been put back together. They did not go to a backup car. If you didn't tune in to our first Gatorade duel, he was collected in a wreck during that event, but decided not to retire. They brought that car back into the garage area. I actually was down there watching them work. They put on a whole new hood. They were banging sheet metal. They were doing as much as they could to make sure this car was not going to have to be a backup car and have him forfeit the pole position he won during pole day qualifying. So Jacob Lawler on point in a car that was basically put back together after it was involved in a wreck. Alongside of him, Nathan Hudson, who also survived in his Gatorade duel. He is the highest starting rookie today, starting in second place. Hudson trying to start off his debut season with a Daytona 500 victory. Joshua Michaels finished second in his Gatorade duel to Cody Lamas, but Lamas, due to being in a backup car, will have to start at the rear of the field. Joshua Michaels, as a result, will start up in the third position, and then Gatorade duel number 2 winner Megan Atkins will start alongside of him in position number 4. Then Ian Dutta will line up in row 3 in the 5th position, and Jessica Shelton lines up alongside of him in 6th position. In the top 5, we have 5 different manufacturers: Chevy Camaro, Ford Fusion, BMW M3, Chevy SS, and Dodge Charger. We also have in this field Audis. We have Mitsubishi Lancers. So there's a whole diverse amount of different manufacturers in this field. Also, Toyota Camry is in this field as well. This is a race that these drivers want to win, but as we saw in the Trucks and Mobile One Cup Series events, it really is going to be hard for these drivers, especially during the last few laps, because of the fact that these drivers have had a bit of difficulty in surviving with the fact that they run the high side so fast and they run it so wide. A number of them have ended up scraping the outside retaining wall. It causes their car to come down into traffic, and that has basically been the result of what our big ones have come about from. So we're going to have to see what these drivers here do today. NNSCRA has been trying to see if they can put a different kind of restrictor plate on the cars to try and cut down their speed just a little bit to try and help them there out of turn 4 and just through the exit of the trioval. We'll see if that is going to cause any factor here today. We have 3 former Daytona 500 winners in this field. Lawler, as we mentioned already, the Season 4 Daytona 500 winner. James McLeod is also in this field, the Season 5 Daytona 500 winner, and the Season 7 Daytona 500 winner. The defending winner, Charles Sanford, is in this field. Let's go down and get the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
And so as we get ready to turn them loose, everybody has been waiting for this event. Dylan Poteet won the Truck Series event. James McLeod won the Mobile Cup Series event. And both drivers are in this field. And it's kind of ironic too. The 31 Truck and the 51 Mobile Cup Series car are kind of associated with Twinix Racing in a way. They changed the name to Turner Motorsports in Mobile Cup Series, but it used to be Twinix. There are a total of 4 Twinix drivers in this field, including Danny Wells, Dylan Poteet, James McLeod, and Sean Henley. Could Twinix, or at least the Turner numbered cars, maybe sweep this race weekend? We're going to find out in 50 laps of racing. A couple of drivers had to go to the back of the pack, as you'll see in your starting grid, due to backup machines, and they include Levi McIntyre, Trent Dunham, Cody Lamas, our Gatorade Duel number 1 winner, and Kyle Corbett. So we'll see how they do in working their way up to the front of the field here within 50 laps. These drivers are also going to, at some point, have to make a pit stop. So if this thing goes green all the way to the checkers, green flag pit stops and pit strategy could come into play into who's going to win this Daytona 500. Jacob Lawler ended up winning his Daytona 500 victory in rather bizarre circumstances when the 2 Ward brothers, Ben and Barney, got together, giving the lead over to Jacob Lawler at the time. Today, he wants to dominate this race and pick up his 2nd Daytona 500 victory. We'll see what he can do. As we are ready, folks, the 8th annual Daytona 500 is green. Season 8 of the Snickers Cup Series is underway. This is gonna get really good. 42 of the best drivers on track, ready to race it out in one of the best races of the season. As that inside line is going to get the momentum. Lawler to the lead. Michaels into second. Side by side between Nathan Hudson and Ian Dutta for the 3rd position. Behind them, looks like they're starting to mix it up 3 wide. It looked like maybe the defending winner of this race, Charles Sanford, was the one caught in the middle. And Now things are starting to split up a little bit into two groups as Jacob Lawler and Joshua Michaels are going to scamper away. Oh, and the drivers are still getting the wall there off of 4. So apparently that adjustment that NASCAR made to the restrictor plate is not helping. But we are going to at least make it through one green flag lap, it would appear. As it is a 2-car breakaway at the front. Then you got Ian Dutta and Danny Wells working together in 3rd and 4th. And now Harrison Langford just moving by Ashley LaPlante. He'll take over the 5th position. So still the top 5 comprised of 5 different manufacturers. Camaro, BMW M3, Dodge, Chevy SS, and Ford Fusion. As there's someone making a move up the inside line there. It's a red car, and that's, that's James Silverfox. Oh, there they go, they spun! Megan Atkins, Seth Cole! I believe Dougie Shears has also spun, and they are going to waive the caution for it. There was another car that had spun as well, a 4th machine. I couldn't see who it was due to the smoke, but I know Seth Cole, our Gatorade dual winner number 2, Megan Atkins, and her teammate Dougie Shears were at least 3 of them. And who was the other? Oh, it was rookie Isaac Canepa in the 9. And it was basically just a 4-car spin from what I could see. I didn't see anybody really get any heavy-duty contact, but it is enough to bring out the yellow flag here for the first time today in the Daytona 500. Let's jump back, look at a replay of what just happened. Jacob Lawler is the leader here under our first yellow in the Great American Race. Well, look up ahead. You can see they were between Dylan Poteet and Michael Norman, Citadino, Ashley LaPlante, practically 4 wide. And then they're almost 4 wide here with Duncan, his teammate Dylan Young, Jessica Shelton and company. But this is what happened. Oh, right there. Nathan Hudson was in the wall. Megan Atkins was slowed up behind him. Seth Cole gets into her left rear, turns her down the racetrack, and there's nowhere for Isaac Canepa nor Dougie Shears to be able to go. And they're all 4 going to spin. Here you see Atkins turns it around, Dougie Shears turns it around, Canepa turns it around. They punch the throttle and drive away. And Seth Cole's car finally going to come to rest, and he will drive away from the incident as well. So, wow, we dodged a bullet here for our first caution. A 4-car spin. Doesn't really look like anybody got that significant of damage. And we are under the yellow. Let's head back now and see if anybody may try doing anything as far as pit stops early on in this event. And here they come, Jacob Lawler coming down pit road. Everybody is coming down pit road this lap. They may be thinking that after this, they may be able to make it on one more stop. It's possible. But apparently everybody deciding to short pit at the moment as they will pit on lap number 4. I don't think anybody has stayed out either. Lawler pulls into his pit stall. Let's go to our pit lane camera. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. Neither is that. Forget it. And Lawler will be first off of pit road. Poteet will come out in 2nd. Michaels in 3rd. 4th place is going to be Dutta, and 5th is Danny Wells. Dylan Poteet with a lightning fast pit stop. That might have been fuel only for that machine, but he's going to come out, I believe, in 2nd place off of pit road. He was 7th under that caution. Alright, so let's head back now for the restart here. In the Daytona 500, Jacob Lawler was just barely the first one off pit road and will restart as the leader. Lights are out atop the pace car. We will go back to green flag racing on lap 7 of 50. That gives us a total of 44 laps remaining in this event. We're just getting started, already working our first caution when 4 drivers spun coming out of turn 4. Isaac Canepa, Seth Cole, Dougie Shears, and Megan Atkins. After pit stops, Jacob Lawler is the leader. Dylan Poteet up to 2nd. Joshua Michaels 3rd. 4th Ian Dutta, and Danny Wells is in 5th. 6th will be Cole Daly. Harrison Langford runs 7th. James Silverfox in 8th. Dylan Young is 9th, and Michael Norman completes top 10. Brandon Gonzalez, the highest run of the Mitsubishis, in 11th. 12th place is Ashley LaPlante. 13th is Tanner Sullivan. 14th, John Citadino. 15th will be Makoto Iguchi. Noah Hart 16th. 17th is William Duncan. Chris Washer 18th. 19th, Nathan Hudson. And Jessica Shelton runs in 20th. 21st, Anthony McCurry. Zachary Fitzwater, 22nd. Cody Lamas has worked his way up now to 23rd. 24th, Sean Galligan. Kyle Corbett in 25th. 26th, Trent Dunham. Charles Jackson in 27th. James Cole's 28th. 29th, Jake Rogers. Sean Henley in 30th. Then it's going to be Levi McIntyre 31st. 32nd, Joshua Volkowitz. Joshua Collard in 33rd. 34th, Ralph Mason. 35th, Kyle Matthews. 36th, Charles Sanford. Bob Jones in 37th. 38th, James McLeod. 39th, Isaac Canepa. 40th, Seth Cole. 41st, Dougie Shears and Megan Atkins. And 42nd. All 42 drivers that started this event going to continue this event as we get ready to go back under the restart on lap 7 of 50. Jacob Lawler ready to get us back underway here in the Great American Race. We're back green. Dylan Poteet jumping up to the high side there, and for a moment it looked like Joshua Michaels was going to go with him. Now Michaels jumps back down low and will help Jacob Lawler. And Dylan Poteet, caught on the high side, will now lose a couple of positions. He'll lose one to Lawler, he'll lose one to Michaels, and now his Tweenix Racing teammate Danny Wells goes down low as well to try and gain positions. Here comes James Silverfox and Dylan Young working together. An Audi out of Kyotech Racing and a Ford out of Young Duncan Motorsports is now battle for the lead. First time today, Joshua Michaels goes to the bottom looking for the top position. Help from Danny Wells and Ian Dutta, and the number 04 BMW M3 is out in front and leading the Daytona 500. If he leads this, it'll be history made. It'll be the first lap ever led by a BMW in NNSCRA history, and it has happened. Still have a chance for even more history to be made here. We already have a Chevy Camaro that has led a lap, and we have a chance for a Mitsubishi Lancer to lead a lap here in this event. Closest one for that would be Brandon Gonzalez, and he is just at the tail end of this pack there in that Miku blue and white number 23. As here comes Dylan Young to the bottom on Danny Wells. Now here on this restart, they couldn't pass before. They couldn't seem to get by Jacob Lawler because Lawler and Joshua Michaels had opened up just such a gap on the field. Now it seems like nobody can hold on to the lead. Here comes Kyotech Racing's rookie driver, Tanner Sullivan, who last season won the Truck Series event here. Now trying to go for his first Snickers Cup Series victory there in the number 20 Marines Audi, right behind Harrison Langford. It's again another two-car breakaway at the front of the field. This time Dylan Young in the 2 and Danny Wells in the 4. And Tanner Sullivan now peeks out of line underneath Harrison Langford. And look who's right behind him. Former Snickers Cup Series champion, John Cittadino. The field has spread out once again, just like it did before our first caution. And Ian Dutta got the wall there, but it looks like he was the only one. And look at this solid two-car tandem right now between the Hooters Ford and the Rockstar Energy Chevrolet. Danny Wells making no attempt to go underneath that two-car. You see him actually move a half groove lower there. That's to be able to cool off his engine, because when you're right up, packed against the back bumper of another driver, your engine can overheat. But those two, they're trying to produce enough speed, but right now there's another two-car tandem catching them, Tanner Sullivan and rookie Makoto Iguchi. So a couple of rookies running down a couple of Snickers Cup Series veterans. And now, what was just a two-car tandem has now become a four-car tandem, as an Audi and another Ford join this group, and look out behind them, there's another group coming, Ashley LaPlante, William Duncan, Nathan Hudson, and James Silverfox. Brandon Gonzalez is back there, working with Jessica Shelton, Joshua Michaels, John Cittadino, and I can't tell who that other driver is, as it's going to be a single-file freight train coming out of turn number 2. 8 cars involved in this freight train, all the way back to the Audi of James Silverfox. And you look here, you got two teammates from Young Duncan Motorsports, the 2 and the 12, and you've also got two teammates up in this with Tanner Sullivan and James Silverfox. As Danny Wells says, okay, enough's enough, I gotta go cool off my engine, get out in clean air, so why not go for the lead? And he's got drafting help coming in the form of Ashley LaPlante and William Duncan, but everybody else is up on the high side there helping Dylan Young. That inside line's got to prevail, though, I would think. And I believe, well, he hasn't quite, but Danny Wells has almost cleared Dylan Young. But now he's lost his drafting help again. And here comes the outside line, fighting back once more. Dylan Young with Tanner Sullivan, Makoto Iguchi, trying to battle back here on the high line. As now they stick Ashley LaPlante in the middle. William Duncan going underneath her. That's 3 wide for third. Duncan with drafting help from fellow Ford Nathan Hudson. And Tanner Sullivan got the wall there, and that's going to hold up that whole entire outside line. as at the stripe, I believe Danny Wells by a splitter led that lap over Dylan Young. But Dylan Young stubbornly hanging on there on that high side, still side by side with Danny, and now finally has to give way to him here, coming into turn number 2. And look at this tight draft of William Duncan, Nathan Hudson, and Joshua Michaels. They've got a lot of momentum, and now Duncan going to work there right behind his teammate Dylan Young in the 2. Let's find out where our former Daytona 500 winners are running. Let's start with the Season 5 winner, James McLeod. He's currently running here near the tail end of the pack, currently in the 38th position. Maybe just biding his time, and there is the defending Daytona 500 winner, Charles Sanford, currently in 36th. We saw Jacob Lawler, the Season 4 Daytona 500 winner, get the wall earlier on. He has now slipped back, and he is riding around in the 29th position. As we move back up to the front, Dylan Young has been able to bypass Danny Wells for the lead now. Danny tucks right back in line in the 2nd position, and now we'll use the crossover move heading into 3 to take the lead back once more. We asked at the top of the program, can Tweenix, or at least the Turner numbers, sweep this weekend? They've already done it in trucks, they've already done it in mobile, and Danny Wells right now is their only hope up here at the front right now in the 500, as 15 laps are completed of 50. We got a total of 36 to go. Still a long ways to go in this race, and we could end up having pit stops come into play very shortly. It's been kind of a cat and mouse game right now between Danny Wells out of Tweenix Racing and Dylan Young out of Young Duncan Motorsports. As you can see, now Dylan Young will go back down to the bottom. There's some company coming pretty soon in the form of Silver Fox, Shelton, Gonzalez, Aguchi, LaPlante, Hudson, Duncan, and Michaels. And now here they come. They're going to come into the view here now. Danny Wells about to get a challenge. James Silverfox down the inside line. And here come a couple other drivers now starting to catch the tail end of this draft. They could come into play pretty soon. Jake Rogers, John Cittadino, Tanner Sullivan. There's the backup car of Kyle Corbett back there. Harrison Langford, Joshua Collard, and Chris Washer. Speaking of backup cars, where are our backup drivers running? Highest running right now, I believe, is Kyle Corbett, currently in the 14th position. How about Cody Lamas, our Gatorade Duel number 1 winner? There he is, just behind Sean Galligan, currently in the 19th position. Trent Dunham is currently in 21st. And Levi McIntyre, where is he running? There he is. 35th position right now for the 60 machine, running right behind his rookie teammate, Zachary Fitzwater. Back up to the front here, as I believe still Dylan Young is the leader. He is, and he has opened up a lot of distance between himself and now the new 2nd place driver, James Silverfox. Shelton into 3rd, Aguchi in 4th, and 5th place is William Duncan, and I think it may be because of Megan Atkins. I think they may have caught Megan Atkins. They did. That's exactly what happened. Megan Atkins is apparently off the pace, not fully up to speed, and that is what has caused this problem. I think they've also caught Dougie Shears in the 21, and both those drivers, I believe, have now gone a lap down. And that is indeed the case. So that is why the field is all split up the way it is. Megan Atkins there in that middle groove, now holding up Dylan Poteet, John Cittadino, and Chris Washer. And this could get ugly if they aren't able to get around that 33. Not certain if the 33 is even up to speed, running 185. I don't think that 33 is even up to speed, even up in this tight draft, as they're now going to split her 3 wide down the back straightaway, and this has definitely split the field up big time. Look at them all scattering here, and they're kind of breaking apart like bits of paper through a shredder right now. Megan Atkins and Dougie Shears playing their part into this 500 for sure. Oh man, Chris Washer is crowding, and Poteet's coming to pit road. Now, is this a regularly scheduled stop for the 31 is the question. Remember, he might have only gone with fuel only on that last pit stop. And we may be seeing the start of green flag pit stops, as Poteet is the only one coming to pit road at this moment. Single file, though, after all that just happened with those 2 machines Megan Atkins and Dougie Shears, who are now both a lap down. Two teammates out of Michael Norman Motorsports. Things may be able to cycle around if we are in a round of green flag pit stops, but Dylan Poteet's the only one that's come to pit road so far, and now he's about to get joined. Makoto Iguchi is now coming to pit road. So green flag pit stops are apparently happening as Iguchi gives up the 4th position to come down and pit. Is anybody else coming? Cole Daly, he is coming down pit road this lap. Dylan Poteet just finished up his pit stop. And now, who of these leaders is going to be coming down pit road as Poteet comes back on track? And, it may be a trouble for these drivers to get by him to be able to get to pit road. No, I guess not. They're going to go by him on the high side. Oh, wow. Nathan Hudson got held up behind him, though. And now let's see if any of the leaders up here inside the top 5, if they're coming to pit road this time. Doesn't look like it. Let's look through the field, see if anybody else is coming this lap. Yep, there's a couple coming. James Qualls, Ralph Mason, Joshua Michaels, Seth Cole, and Tanner Sullivan all coming down pit road this time. Zachary Fitzwater is also coming, and now the 24 of Kyle Matthews is peeling off to come down pit road and make a pit stop. Iguchi just finished his pit stop, so did Cole Daly. Top 4 right now, Dylan Young, James Silverfox, William Duncan, and Jake Rogers. When are these 4 going to have to pit? How long can they stretch it? Looks like they may be slowing down to come down and pit this time. Yes, here comes Dylan Young, and here comes Jake Rogers as Silverfox will stay out and lead a lap. Langford's coming, Henley, Bob Jones, Sean Galligan. Careful coming onto pit road, guys. Galligan, Shelton, Cody Lamas, Trent Dunham, Brandon Gonzalez, Noah Hart, Charles Jackson, pole sitter Jacob Lawler, Ian Dutta is on pit road. So too is Michael Norman, and here comes 2 former Daytona 500 winners, James McLeod and Charles Sanford, are now coming to pit road. So James Silverfox is the leader, William Duncan in 2nd. And you gotta think maybe they're gonna pit this lap as they work their way around now the machine of Ralph Mason, who is on much fresher tires. And he and Cole Daly going to move up so that way Silverfox can come to pit road. Here comes Duncan. Kyle Corbett coming, as well as Danny Wells, Ashley LaPlante, Joshua Collard, and Nathan Hudson. This should be the last of the drivers to have to pit, I do believe. Chris Washer in, Anthony McCurry, John Cittadino coming as well. Here comes Megan Atkins, who has now been put a lap down, and I believe Dougie Shears will be coming in this lap as well. So there's Dylan Young trying to get around here as quickly as he can. He's going to have to try and bypass James Silverfox for the lead. Right now he's got Jake Rogers right behind him, pushing him. And this, boy, you thought that those 2 machines of Megan Atkins and Dougie Shears split the field up. I guarantee you these green flag pit stops are going to be splitting the field up for sure. Nathan Hudson, Chris Washer almost rubbing doors coming off pit road there. And let's see if these 2, Jake Rogers and Dylan Young, can get up here quickly enough to James Silverfox. There's LaPlante, there's Danny Wells, and there's Silverfox up ahead. I don't think they're going to catch him. I think Silverfox is going to come off pit road as the leader after the cycle of green flag pit stops. William Duncan will come out in 2nd. And what we will do is we'll wait until they get past the start-finish line to be able to figure this all out. And look at the run William Duncan got on Silverfox. Right up to his back bumper comes the Pokemon Chevrolet, or not Chevrolet, Ford. And the caution's out. Caution's waving. And this is going to change everything. This is going to change up everything as Duncan, I believe, got the lead at the line. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. That driver that just came off pit road was the leader. Who was that? That was Levi McIntyre. He apparently stayed out an extra lap, and he comes off pit road as the leader. So talk about a timely pit stop. Looks like someone spun on the back straightaway. I don't know who it was, though. But somebody did. Nobody's really got any damage here for me able to find out. Wait a minute. Cittadino, maybe? Oh, I almost wonder if it might have been the 72 of John Cittadino. Oh, slow up, slow up, slow up, slow up. They are wrecking again on the back straightaway. They've done it again. They're not slowing down. Somebody's just jacked up somebody else. Now they're wrecking. I hate it when they do this. Jacob Lawler has got damage. Michael Norman's got damage. Zachary Fitzwater is damaged. And there must be some others back there that we can't even see that are damaged. This drives me crazy when they do this. Let's just go to a replay, see what happened. I mean, good grief, are you kidding me? They do this all the time. I believe Dylan Poteet's now got damaged. Tanner Sullivan's got damaged. Canepa's got damaged. Daly's got damaged. They've all got damage there, I think. Let's just go and look at a replay. This is a result of drivers merging off pit road and drivers just behind them going 3 wide. Watch here. John Cittadino tries to come up here and merge with traffic. Cole Daly, though, is down there against that yellow line, and that's actually Daly's fault because, you know, when a driver is trying to merge with traffic, all drivers are supposed to move up to the high line, and Daly did not, and then Daly comes up and collects Dylan Poteet into the safer barrier as well. And Cittadino, who had been up inside the top 10 at a moment there, Daly had also, and Dylan Poteet was run up as high as 2nd place. And I think these are the only 3 that get involved. They all spin down towards the inside, and Jackson, Dutta, Seth Cole, they were all able to get by. But that was the 3-car incident that put us under the caution, but then they wrecked under the caution, and I'm not even going to go back and look at a replay of that, because that just drives me crazy when they do that. It's so annoying. So, caution flag is out. Trouble with drivers merging off of pit road back onto the racetrack. John Cittadino, Dylan Poteet, and Cole Daly amongst those involved. Let's head back now for the restart and see how everything's going to settle out after those pit stops. And now, this our latest caution flag. Well, we'll get ready to go back to green after our second caution of the day, and some interesting strategy on the part of Levi McIntyre. You see, he is not up here at the front of the field, yet he was scored as the leader. What actually happened was McIntyre only took 2 tires on that pit stop because they hurried his pit stop to get him off pit road so he wouldn't be caught a lap down on that caution flag. So he then came back down pit road, got his 4 tires, and has returned to the track. So very interesting strategy to stay on the lead lap there by Levi McIntyre, but as a result, he does lose the lead. Now to Dylan Young. Danny Wells lines up 2nd. Joshua Cullard is now 3rd. Makoto Iguchi 4th, and Jessica Shelton runs in 5th. Noah Hart is 6th. Ralph Mason 7th. 8th is Nathan Hudson. 9th, Sean Galligan, and Trent Dunham is in 10th. 11th, James Qualls. Anthony McCurry 12th. 13th, Charles Jackson. 14th now, Seth Cole, with James McLeod up in 15th. 16th place, Kyle Matthews. James Silverfox 17th. 18th, William Duncan. Harrison Langford 19th, and 20th is Jake Rogers. 21st place is Kyle Corbett. 22nd is Ashley LaPlante. Sean Henley in 23rd. 24th, Cody Lamas. 25th, Chris Washer. Ian Dutta 26th. 27th, Bob Jones. Michael Norman's 28th. 29th, Brandon Gonzalez. And Charles Samper completes the top 30. The rest of the cars on track are Jacob Lawler 31st. 32nd, Joshua Balkowitz. Joshua Michaels in 33rd. 34th, Tanner Sullivan. 35th, Levi McIntyre. John Cittadino 36th. And 37th, Cole Daly. There are 5 drivers back behind the wall after that incident we saw happen on the back straightaway, and they are Dylan Poteet, Megan Ackes, Dougie Shears, Zachary Fitzwater, and Isaac Canepa. I don't even want to talk about it the way they wrecked. They wrecked on the back straightaway, not being able to slow down, and they've taken themselves out of the Daytona 500s. The green flag is back out. Danny Wells jumping right up there to the high side to try and get around Dylan Young. He had some drivers up there helping him for a moment, Joshua Collard and Jessica Shelton, but now the inside line's going to kick in here, I think. Dylan Young, well, he just got ditched. Makoto Iguchi just jumped up to the high side, and the high side is going to work here on this restart. Danny Wells got it to work, and he goes to the lead. Now, I'm not certain. I'm trying to get word on whether James Silverfox, William Duncan, and company actually came down pit road under that last caution, and I think they might have to top off the fuel tanks because they were both, Silverfox and Duncan, 2nd and 3rd when we were under that caution, and then they restarted way at the back of the pack. So I have to wonder if maybe they all came down pit road as well with Levi McIntyre. But McIntyre came down pit road alone when he came down, so I don't rightly know why Silverfox and Duncan started way back there, but regardless, when we hit the stripe, we're going to have 21 laps to go in this event. Danny Wells way out in front right now. Then it's the Pontiac of Ralph Mason. And look behind him, a guy who hates Daytona. Trent Dunham is now up to the 3rd position. And this is the guy, quite honestly, that coming into this race, I was looking at to possibly win this thing, Charles Jackson. Just based on the fact he had a great run in trucks and he finished runner-up in the Mobile Cup Series race yesterday. He's been very consistent this weekend at Daytona. I think maybe he could get Toyota to victory lanes. Right now he's helping his buddy Trent Dunham. They're going to the bottom underneath of Ralph Mason, and look who else is coming. Our Mobile Cup Series winner, James McLeod, a former Daytona 500 winner from Season 5. He's now making his presence felt up here at the front. And that's good news for Danny Wells, because that'll be a teammate he can work with. As Trent Dunham in second place now. Charles Jackson was trying to help him, and now he gets caught on the high side in a battle for third with James McLeod, who now is going to move by him. He's got drafting help in the form of Kyle Matthews in the 24. Things starting to get really racy up at the front once again here, but basically for the second position. And I'm trying to look here at the scoring monitor, and I believe these drivers, if this thing goes green all the way to the checkers, they will have to at least make one more pit stop. So that is going to be coming into play for certain. Joshua Michaels is kind of faded from view. He was the strongest of the BMWs for a while, and Seth Cole got involved in our first caution. BMW's best driver right now is Sean Galligan, who is just at the front of this second pack of Rogers Young and Noah Hart. Currently in the 12th position right now is where Sean Galligan is currently running. Mitsubishi Lancer's best driver right now is Joshua Collard. He currently is in the 9th position. That's where he crossed the stripe this time. As we got a battle up here for second again. Now Jessica Shelton underneath of William Duncan. Best runner for Audi is James Silverfox, going for third underneath of William Duncan. And I believe Chris Washer is the best runner right now for Dodge. Another driver coming up here that we haven't talked about, our Sprint Unlimited winner, Bob Jones in the 27. He's now cracked the top 20, and he's right behind Dylan Young trying to catch up to the tail end of this lead pack. So Bob Jones having a very good run at the current moment. And not too far behind him is our winner of Gatorade Duel number 1, Cody Lamas. 20th last time by, this time by 21st. But having a pretty decent run in his machine. There's a number of drivers back here we haven't really talked about that are running near the tail end of this lead pack. Sean Henley in the Tweenix Chevrolet. He's currently in 25th. Michael Norman's back here in 28th. Anthony McCurry in 29th. There's Joshua Michaels back in 30th, Balkowitz 31st, Sullivan 32nd, Cittadino 33rd, and Charles Sanford, the defending Daytona 500 winner, back here in 33rd place. Let's move back to the front, and Danny Wells, who now has Jessica Shelton right behind him, and now here comes Joshua Collard for third with help from fellow Brit Ralph Mason on the bottom. Mason, though, sticks Collard in the middle, and he's going to go 3 wide for third. Danny Wells, a former driver at Michael Norman Motorsports, being drafted right now by a current driver of Michael Norman Motorsports, Jessica Shelton in the 94. And those drivers working a 2-car draft. We're seeing this a lot here today, of drivers working 2-car drafts. We saw Lawler and Joshua Michaels doing it earlier. We saw Dylan Young and Danny Wells doing it not too long ago. And now, Danny Wells and Jessica Shelton. But they've got company coming. Ralph Mason, Trent Dunham, James McLeod, and here comes Bob Jones. We told you he was coming, and here he is, right up here in this lead pack now. Next time around, 15 to go in the Great American Race. Who is going to win this thing? Right now, we only have one driver up here in the hunt to pick up his second Daytona 500 victory of his career, and that would be McLeod in the 51. 3-car breakaway at the front, Danny Wells, Jessica Shelton, and Ralph Mason. Will Shelton use the draft of the 87 to make a move for the lead here on Danny Wells? Doesn't look like it. Remains single file coming here into turn 3 as it's a battle on for fourth. James McLeod now going to leave Trent Dunham out to dry as he'll try and move even further up into the top 5. Dylan Young coming, and oh wow, Trent Dunham just barely able to stick his car down in front of Dylan Young to maintain the 5th position. Noah Hart now all of a sudden making his presence felt up here. Caltech's got a few drivers up here in Silver Fox and Noah Hart. As Danny Wells continues to lead the way. Danny Wells made the chase last season for Tweenix Racing. However, had no wins, and once the chase began, his season just started falling apart. He could start off this season with a bang with a win in the Daytona 500. Right behind him, Jessica Shelton hasn't been to victory lane since season 6, when she won her very first Snickers Cup Series event. I believe it was at Chicagoland. Ralph Mason has not been to victory lane for a long time. He went all season 7 winless. And right behind him, James McLeod in the 51 had 1 win last season. That came at Pocono. And McLeod trying to go 2 for 3 this weekend here at Daytona after winning the Mobile Cup Series event here yesterday. We got slower cars up ahead once again. It's going to be 2 teammates in Cole Daly and Jacob Lawler, and Makoto Iguchi just made a pit stop. Remember, when Iguchi made a pit stop, it was about 3 laps before all the leaders had to make pit stops. We could be coming up on the money stop, folks. But if these guys wreck, they could make it under caution. Look out. Danny Wells going to the high side, and he's going to break away. Bypasses Lawler, bypasses Daly. Now trying to go by Iguchi, as all these guys are held up behind the slower machine of our pole sitter, Jacob Lawler. Is anybody else coming to pit road this lap? Oh, they're going to wreck. They are going to wreck. James Qualls, he's on pit road. So is Seth Cole. And I believe Joshua Balkowitz may have already made a pit stop in the 91. As Danny Wells is the leader, Makoto Iguchi is now a lap down. Shelton in 3rd, McLeod 4th, Bob Jones 5th, and Kyle Matthews is now up here in 6th, the highest running of the Camaros. And the Kings Island Chevy Camaro. Another slower car up ahead here for Danny Wells. That's Joshua Balkowitz. But are any of the leaders coming to pit road this time? Yep, James McLeod is coming. So too is Kyle Matthews. Charles Jackson's on pit road. Who else is coming? Trent Dunham, Noah Hart, Nathan Hudson, Ralph Mason, Dylan Young, Sean Galligan's on pit road. And I believe that may be it. Oh, McCurry is also coming to pit road as well. Danny Wells now has Jessica Shelton right behind him again, and Shelton may have a teammate to help her in just a moment. Bob Jones going underneath the now lap machine of Makoto Iguchi. Well, now has to tuck back in line behind the Twisted T Ford. And now they're moving up high. I got to assume that means Danny Wells and Jessica Shelton have indicated they are coming to pit road this lap. Well, Danny Wells is not, but Jessica Shelton is. So too is Joshua Collard. The last time we had green flag pit stops, we had a caution that just shuffled everything up. Will that happen again is the question. Nobody from this group is coming in. I think maybe Collard and Shelton, the only 2 coming to pit road this time. As there's the leader, Danny Wells. Coming up here. Oh, Hudson comes up. They're going to give him room to fit in. Danny Wells, the current leader. William Duncan, I believe, is now in 2nd, but he's about to lose that. Bob Jones coming to the inside. And now when is Danny Wells going to have to pit? I don't think he's coming to pit road this time. Well, yes, he is. Yes, he is. It didn't look like he was indicating he was coming to pit road, but he's coming. And now that turns the lead over to Bob Jones in the 27. So Bob Jones takes the lead for the first time today at Daytona. 10 laps to go here in the 500, and green flag pit stops coming into play in this thing. Wouldn't it be amazing if this thing went green to the end with the field split up the way it is? We had something like this happen once in a 500, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the Season 4 Daytona 500 when Jacob Lawler ended up winning the race. It was green flag pit stops at the end. It was Barney Ward coming off of pit road into his brother Ben Ward with that cycle of green flag pit stops that turned the lead and the win over to Jacob Lawler as Bob Jones continues to stay out. William Duncan, I believe, may have stayed out. Yes, he did. So too did Silver Fox. That is the top 3 at the current moment, I do believe. Cody Lamas is also out still in 4th. Ian Dutta in 5th. Jake Rogers 6th. Chris Washer 7th. 8th, Ashley LaPlante. Harrison Langford in 9th. And now Kyle Corbett is in the 10th position. And a number of drivers are a lap down. We've only got 25 drivers on the lead lap right now. Trent Dunham is the first car 1 lap down, but that will probably change when these leaders come in to make their pit stops, which could be right now. Bob Jones, he's coming to pit road. So is Silver Fox. William Duncan's kind of boxed in, though, so he has really no choice. He has to stay out at least one more lap. Ian Dutta also coming to pit. Jake Rogers and Chris Washer, they are now pitting, and so too is Harrison Langford. Let's get back around here. Brandon Gonzalez has just made a pit stop. And where is Duncan? There's Duncan in the 12 car. Can't find him. There we go. He is scored as the leader right now. Cody Lamas right behind him, I believe, is now second place. That is indeed the case. So we're waiting for when the 12 and the 48 are coming to pit road. 48 just made his way to the inside. I'm assuming he's coming this lap. And William Duncan is going to come as well. So now comes the big question. These are the leaders, the last of the leaders to pit, Duncan and Cody Lamas. Where are they going to come out in the scheme of all this? We'll be watching Duncan. We'll also be watching for Silver Fox. We'll also be watching for Danny Wells and Jessica Shelton. All drivers who were up at the front when this green flag cycle began. Ashley LaPlante now coming down pit road in the 25. Has to hold up for Duncan to go by for her to get into her pit stall. And you see there are no lights on atop the pace car. We are actually going to get through a cycle of green flag pit stops without a caution coming out to bunch everybody back up. So this is going to be it, folks. This field is going to be scattered to the wind, and one of these drivers somehow is going to win this event. William Duncan coming off of pit road. Watch the top right of your screen. Where's those lead packs? They're not even coming. Where are they? There they are. Bob Jones, Ian Dutta, James Silverfox all the way back here. Joshua Colley, Jessica Shelton, and Danny Wells as well. But William Duncan, after that pit stop, he is out in front, large and in charge. But when he hits the stripe, there's 6 laps to go. Is that enough time for everybody to bunch back up here? Cody Lamas trying to catch him. And there may be traffic up ahead. Well, nope, Jacob Lawler, the only car up ahead, and he's coming out of 2. Duncan is not even yet into 1, so I don't think there will be trouble with lap traffic, perhaps. But Duncan and Cody Lamas are by themselves now. These 6, Silver Fox, Bob Jones, Collard, Shelton, Danny Wells, and Ian Dutta have all gotten themselves into a nice tight pack. Behind them, Ralph Mason, Makoto Iguchi, Trent Dunham, James Qualls, Noah Hart, Charles Jackson, Nathan Hudson, Kyle Matthews, and James McLeod are in a tight pack as well. But I don't know if there's enough time for all these drivers to catch up here to William Duncan and Cody Lamas. They could, though. They could. It could happen. We'll see. That big pack, though, has got to hurry. Because at the stripe, there's 5 laps to go. Duncan leads. Lamas into second. That's a backup car in Cody Lamas. That backup car won Gatorade Duel number 1. He could end up winning the Daytona 500, as here he comes with a big run on the back bumper of the 12 machine. Now the 12 and the 48 are nose to tail. And where is that pack? That pack has not caught them yet. There they are. They're now single file, but they're about to get caught by that second pack. As now they're going to race double wide here between Cody Lamas and William Duncan, and that Jacob Lawler machine is just up ahead. So it could come into play. I thought they might not catch Lawler. Then again, they might. There's that second pack. Now they're in view. Last time by, the second pack was about 3.5 seconds behind. Let's see at the stripe if they've cut down that lead by any. 2.4, almost a full second they've cut it down by. Oh my goodness, this is going to get interesting really, really quickly. Cody Lamas leads. William Duncan in second. Oh boy. There's that second pack. They are just barely in view, but they're going to have a total of 3 to go when they hit the stripe to run down these 2. Cody Lamas and William Duncan, who are trying to settle it amongst themselves. They'll go double wide again. This may not be the best decision. This is going to bring that field up to them even quicker. Last time by, we told you 2.4 seconds. This time by, I think it's going to be even closer, as I think that second pack may have actually caught them. That second pack caught that first pack. And are they going to cut it down? 1.8. They are coming. 3 to go. This thing ain't over yet, folks. And we still got that Jacob Lawler machine up ahead. Duncan in the lead. Cody Lamas in second. They're going to have to work their way around that number 5 machine quickly because look who's coming to the party. Collard, Jones, Shelton, Silver Fox, they're all coming, and they're going to encounter the 5 car in the turn. Cody Lamas goes around the high side. Oh, they got to get around this 5 car. They got to get around him. They got to get around him. They can't let him slow him up. Shelton jumps to the high side. Bob Jones going with her. Silver Fox up there as well. Cody Lamas is scattering away. He's getting away. Is Cody in the 48? Oh no, I don't think they're going to have enough time to catch Cody Lamas now. That may have killed all their momentum. Cody may be home free, but it ain't over yet. They've now cleared that car of Jacob Lawler. They're bunched back up. They're starting to run him down again. Jessica Shelton, the one really having trouble with the Jacob Lawler machine, still caught on the high side. And here they come. Collard's closing. Collard is coming. Iguchi's coming. Duncan's back in the fray. Danny Wells, Ralph Mason, and also, I believe that was Ian Dutta. White flag displayed this time. Can Cody Lamas hold him off for one more lap? They are coming in a hurry though, Cody. You gotta get going. Cody Lamas takes the white flag in the 500. Will he take the checkers though? Here comes Iguchi. Here comes Danny Wells. These drivers know they're probably going to catch the Cody Lamas machine. They're making their moves for this win. They have caught him. Now Iguchi all over the back bumper of the 48. Can Iguchi make a move? Trying to move that 48 out of the way. Here he comes. Here comes Makoto Iguchi. Trying to win here in his very rookie start. His debut in the Snickers Cup Series. Here comes Ralph Mason pushing him 3 wide for the lead. Between Collard, Cody Lamas, Makoto Iguchi. Coming out of turn 4 for the final time. Can Ralph Mason make a move on Iguchi? He's looking low. He was looking, but he's not going to get there. Makoto Iguchi for Rogers VA Performance Motorsports in his debut is going to win the Daytona 500 here in the 8th season of the Snickers Cup Series. Are you kidding me? What a run for that team in his debut. He is the Daytona 500 champion. Makoto Iguchi, a rookie this season. One of 7 rookies. An unbelievable drive for that machine. Talk about pit strategy too. He was one of the drivers who came down very early down pit road on both those cycle of green flag pit stops. And look where it placed him at the end. And for the second time in NNSCRA history, the number 9 Ford goes to victory lane, the Daytona 500. It did it with the very first Daytona 500 winner, Logan Wilson, and 7 seasons later does it with rookie Makoto Iguchi. What a finish. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Right place, right time. Makoto Iguchi wins the Daytona 500. Ralph Mason will finish second. Nathan Hudson's going to finish third after starting in second today. Talk about finishing well after qualifying well. Cody Lamas is going to get 4th place today after he almost was able to hold off everybody. Danny Wells will get 5th place rather. Ian Dutta in 6th. Joshua Collard 7th. 8th place will be William Duncan. Noah Hart, the highest running Audi, in 9th. And 10th place will be rookie James Qualls. What an event. Unbelievable. Take a look at the rest of our finishing results here. James Silver Fox, he finishes 11th. Trent Dunham in 12th. Great run for him at Daytona. Didn't win it, but still ran well. Jessica Shelton, the reason she finished all the way back in 13th was basically enlarged to that Jacob Lawler machine holding up all her momentum. But she'll come away with the top 15 in 13th. Bob Jones, our Sprint Unlimited winner, will get 14th. And Charles Jackson will finish the day out in 15th. Rest of the top 20 were Kyle Matthews, James McLeod, Chris Washer, Harrison Langford, and Ashley LaPlante. Kind of interesting, too. Backup car of Cody Lamas finishing up there in the 4th position. What a great run for him. Got to give that team a lot of credit here this weekend, winning both the Gatorade Duel and finishing 4th here in the 500 in a car that wrecked in pole day qualifying. As you'll take a look at the rest of your finishing results for today's race. Tanner Sullivan was the last car to finish on the lead lap. Never really saw much of the defending champion of this event, Charles Sanford, at the front, as he finished the day out in 30th position. Belkowitz, Cole Daly each finished a lap down. Jacob Lawler finished 2 laps down. And then Dylan Poteet, Megan Atkins, Dougie Shears, Zachary Fitzwater, and Isaac Canepa all finished out of the race. Not really even due to wrecks. It was basically due to the fact they all ran in the back of each other on the back straightaway in an effort to slow down and failed. But anyway, Makoto Iguchi gets his rookie season off to a lightning fast start as he wins the 8th annual Daytona 500. Congratulations to that entire number 9 team. Hope you guys enjoyed today's Great American Race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. This is your official full finish results. We will show you your official standings heading into next week, as we will be having Light and Oreo Truck Series taking an off week. We're heading across the pond to the United Kingdom at Rockingham, UK for Mobile and Snickers Cup Series action. Then the following week, the Last of Us Light Series goes to Bristol. The Truck Series are still off, and then we have Mobile and Snickers Cup Series action from Las Vegas. So hope you'll be tuning in for the future events coming up here. We hope that you enjoyed this race, and we will see you guys next time. Makoto Iguchi puts his name with the likes of Logan Wilson, Trent Whitney, John Brace, James McLeod, Jacob Lawler, Charles Samper, and Barney Ward as a Daytona 500 winner here in the NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best. See you guys next week. Sean Henley got turned by Dunham, and he saved it! What are these guys doing? Oh, and Henley just got turned now. That time he got turned. Logan Wilson is flipping on his roof. Dylan Young is collected. Sosnowski's collected. Dylan Young is now flipping. Citadino's involved. Mary Cole is in it. Drew Austin has been collected, and Dylan Young continues to flip. Now comes to rest. There is our caution.